Saturday.
Yes.
Happy Saturday, yeah. Happy late July. It's 5,000 degrees in eastern North Carolina. You could walk outside and burst into flame. But we've got a solution for that.
Yes, we do.
And some really delicious crisp whites and a lovely chillable red for this month of August coming up.
I am very, very excited. Very new, very different, just super excited
I'm excited about this lineup. You know, I like to geek out on some of these weird things, and we've got a couple of odd ones this week, for this month. And so we're just going to jump right in with a well-known variety, but from a place we're not used to.
Okay.
Right? So this is a producer called Guerlain, Grrlan. This is from way up in the northeastern corner of Italy, from the Alto Adige, the Sud Tyrol region, and it's a Sauvignon Blanc. So we don't think a lot about Sauvignon Blanc from that part of the world, but it has been grown there for a while, decades, maybe a century or more. Guerlain is a cooperative that was started in 1924 or 1920, and they originally had about 24 local growers who came together to create this property and pool their resources to be able to produce wine instead of selling to other people. And that's what cooperatives do. They pool their resources. It's too much for one individual small farm to make their own wine. And they want to make their own product, but they don't have the resources. So they come together and do that. And they do it in France, they do it in Spain, they do it all over. And they're cooperatives. So now there are 200 members of the cooperative, all producing grapes and sending them to this one producer, this one facility, where a number of labels are produced, and Guerlain is the major one. They have an enologist who oversees all the wine production, but there's several people who aid in the production of the wines. And it depends upon the variety, and it depends upon the color of the grape as to who's in charge of which one. So it's hard to know. But here we have Sauvignon Blanc, and you know, we've been through this. We're big fans of Sauvignon Blanc here, and we like a variety of styles. And I think you're going to find that this is just a really lovely, slightly unique version of this grape.
Okay.
Pretty color, you know, maybe sort of a green gold, which is typical, right?
I'm noticing on the label,
Yes.
they have Guerlain,
Uh-huh.
and that's the producer.
Correct.
Okay, forgive my ignorance.
No.
If Italian wines confuse me.
They can be confusing, sure.
And okay, so now I have Cellarini Cantina.
So Cantina is the, so it's Cantina, it's Cantina Cellarini that produces the Guerlain wines.
Okay,
right? And Cellarini is the overall cooperative.
Okay.
Right?
And then I see Indra and I see Sauvignon.
Right. Sauvignon is the grape that we're using here. It's interesting they don't say Sauvignon Blanc because they assumed you know that. But it's interesting because that could be confusing because there is also a Sauvignon Gris, which is a similar but not exactly the same grape. But this is Sauvignon Blanc 100%. And Indra is the specific vineyard where this is from. Right? So this is a single vineyard Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay. And then the co-op, so they really are tracking everything while they're making that. I had somebody come into the shop wanting an Italian Sauvignon, and I had to ask whether it was white or red because, again, I don't have all the knowledge with Italian. So that was very interesting to me. And then we have this, and it was so perfect.
And we have this, you're right. And you know, that's also, you can't assume that the customer has what they're looking for exactly right, because maybe they saw it or maybe they had it, maybe so it's always good to question, to ask some leading questions. Okay, well, where did you have this? Was it, like you said, was it red or white? Was it, you know, whatever questions that help them down the road. If one of my favorite questions to ask somebody if they're asking for a specific style or specific wine that we may not necessarily carry, I'll say, I'd like a Chardonnay. Oh, okay, great. Well, if I'm gonna give you $20 and I'm gonna send you into the grocery store, what Chardonnay are you gonna pick on the shelf?
Excellent question.
And that leads me in a direction for them. That helps me define the style they're looking for, so then I can sort of pick and choose from what we have. And so we can do the same thing with Sauvignon Blanc or anything else, because as we know, although Sauvignon Blanc is planted worldwide, really in almost every region somebody grows it, the style changes depending upon where it's from, north or south of the equator. Is it New World or Old World? Is it grapefruit centric? Is it more
Right.
mineral driven? Is it more lemon and lime and chalk, or is it wet rock and stone? You know, these are all valid. If it's Chilean, it could have a little hint of jalapeno
Yeah.
on it. You know, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
you know, you never know. Anyway.
This.
So all stainless.
Yes.
Interesting, all hand-picked, and basket and gathered in small containers, so that the weight of the grapes don't crush the ones below it.
Wow.
Because they want to save that until they get to the crushing facility, the press, and then they crush. All stainless steel fermentation. It does see 6 months on the leaves. So there's a richness on this, right? So
there
there's
is.
sort of a fullness and a richness here that we don't often see in, say, South African or New Zealand style of Sauvignon Blanc.
Correct.
They tend to be a little leaner,
Right.
A little more grapefruit centric. I just think it's lovely. I think it has nice. It sees no malolactic, so you still get that green apple.
Yeah,
Okay, that
you
sort of
do.
acid in there. There is some citrus, but there's also some sort of tropical, almost like gooseberry or passion fruit, and not so much grapefruit and lemon and lime,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Interesting, because it's cooler climate. This is high up in the hills, so cool at night, some warmth during the day, which helps preserve that acidity. And we just have a really fun, interesting style. If you're a Sauvignon Blanc fan, I certainly urge you to try this, because I think it's a style that you don't see very often, but one that's very pleasing and multi-purpose in its style.
Yes.
I think it's going to go with a lot of things that necessarily that super citrusy may not.
Right. Okay, now I'm excited about this. This is a white wine that I love. I love this grape. I'm very excited.
I'm excited that
and
you're
I
excited.
want to hear more about this from you.
Well, so Falanghina. So here we have. So we're still in Italy. Okay. So we've traveled a little bit, but we're still in Italy, and this is Terradoro di Paolo white wine. This is Erpigna, which is
Okay.
also vineyard. We talked about vineyard here.
Yes.
Okay. This is vineyard.
Okay,
All right?
vineyard, okay.
And Falanghina is the grape. Right.
Right.
This is family owned and operated, multiple generations. Current generation, the last name is Mastro Berardino, and the family has been in the wine business for a long time. And the grandfather of the current operator
Okay.
broke off from the family and started his own project, and that's the Terradoro. Okay, we've had some Terradoro products in the past. We've had a cab that we've done from them,
Oh, yeah.
which was unusual. They have a number of properties around the country. Falanghina here is a grape that we just don't see a ton of. It is traditionally Piedmontese, but it doesn't have to be. It could be grown in other places.
Okay.
And it's just a grape that has a profile that can be a little aromatic, still lean on the back end. It's a grape that you can, as they have done here, all stainless fermentation, but you can see oak on this sometimes, and it will richen it and fill it out and make it a bigger product. In this style, this Erpigna, it is in the same wheelhouse as a lot of these white Italians that we really like, that are sort of lighter, that are leaner on the back end, not super full, super summer wines for us, right?
Yeah. Look at that color difference. This is golden.
Yeah, this
The
is
other
much
one,
more
the-
golden.
It's got a little bit of green, but I don't know if that's our paint. But
And it could be, you're right. Yeah,
no,
right.
I'm gonna say it's got a little, still a tinge of green, but it's
Little
more
touch.
golden.
It is. It looks richer.
It does.
Right? It looks richer in the glass, and I think it will be fuller on the palate for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Good nose. I like that. Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's so pretty. More stone fruit. I get peach and nectarine on this, not as much citrus. There's still a little acid in there. There's still some green apple that finishes up, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, it helps balance. but there's weight to this. There's more
Yeah.
weight to this. This fills the mouth. This makes me want a bite of food,
Yes.
or another sip of wine.
Yeah. Like I said, the salivary gland's going for sure for me.
Absolutely. Like the first wine, this is also single vineyard, and it says that on the label, which is really nice, particularly in this price point, to find single vineyard whites.
Yeah.
That is not always the case, certainly not in this country. It sort of speaks to the ability and the drive and the know-how of European winemakers, right?
I'm going to do a little compare and contrast.
Sure,
Because
sure.
it's so fresh in my mind. This, lovely, almost has on the center of my tongue, like what the pineapple does to my tongue. Like it just makes all my little taste buds stand up and sing. It's not citrus like grapefruit or anything, but it's just one of those things. It's just like the center of my tongue just is excited about
Nice.
this.
There you go.
This one, it almost coats my tongue, and then I get along the sides of my tongue, I get that singing and the salivary glands going.
Right, yeah, no.
And that's too much information. It could be, I don't know, but that's kind of how it plays in my mouth.
No, you're right, and it does. Again, it's the difference in weight. Different grapes produce different weights of wine, even if they're treated the same. So both of these are stainless steel. Both of these see a little bit of time on the lees. Both of them are white grapes grown in similar climates, yet very different profiles, right?
Very different.
Very different weights in the mouth. Like you said, fuller, more filling. This is certainly a wine that will stand up to bigger food.
Yes.
Seafood with cream sauce. You could almost use this in the same place you would use an unoaked Chardonnay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slightly different flavor profiles, but still the weight and the fullness, and again that sort of back end of mineral helping clean things up
Yes.
works in the same space. So-
It's very balanced.
Oh, it is very balanced.
It doesn't have a very long finish,
No,
but it
no.
is very balanced.
I agree, yes.
It is. This could take us in. This is great now. This could take us into the fall as well. Like this is a great wine. This is a great option.
This is a great wine, a great option. Sort of an under the radar grape that is, the people who know it love it. And once you've discovered Falangina, I think you fall in love with it, right? And to your point, this is a super fall wine. This would be lovely for the Thanksgiving table. This would be great with the butternut squash soup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there you go.
But equally with our shrimp pizza.
I agree, 100%. 100%. Falangina, give yourself a treat and try some Falangina.
Absolutely.
All right,
Goodness.
so this is the
I
most
really was.
unusual thing we've had in a while.
Oh. Okay. Like a little monkey that you wind up.
Yeah, you and me both. All right. Okay, so
Okay. Orange wines. We've got to demystify orange wines. We've got to talk about orange wines. It is not made from oranges.
it is not. Let's talk about orange wines. So orange wines are wines made from traditionally what we think of as white grapes, but left in contact with the skin, which then gives hints of color, often in the direction of orange or amber. I've also seen sometimes these referred to as amber wines.
Correct.
Right? So it works best with grapes that have a little color in their skin. Pinot Grigio is a great example. Okay, it is not a particularly white grape. It has color when it's fully ripe, but it's not a red grape. But it has blotches of grays and pinks, and those give color to the wines if you leave them sit. This is another example. This is a really interesting product. So the producer here is Pablo Falabrino.
Okay.
Pablo is from Uruguay, and his grandfather immigrated from the Piedmont region of Italy in 1920 and moved to Uruguay and was involved in the wine business in several different ways. Grew grapes, started 2 different wineries that he then sold. Paolo grew up in the business.
Yeah.
His father followed his grandfather into the business, and he learned from his father and his grandfather. He went to college to be an enologist.
Oh, wow.
And then started his own project
Okay.
with his grandfather and father's help. So this is his own thing. This is his own winery. and all of them have always basically specialized in traditional Italian and Piedmontese varietals,
Okay.
but also with little nods to different things.
Okay.
So they do a Tannat, which we think of as French, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
which is done beautifully in Uruguay.
Yes.
Uruguay has taken Tannat and run with it, just like other places have run with Carmenere in Chile and Malbec in Argentina. Uruguay's loving Tannat.
Okay.
Right? But this is one of the most unusual wines I've come across in a long time. So this is 100% what they term aromatic Traminer, but what we know as Gewürztraminer, a big name for a grape that's been around for quite some time. Gewürztraminer, or Traminer, is a grape that we think of often in, because of the name, Germany,
Yes.
and in Alsace and in
Yes.
Austria,
Yes.
some in Hungary.
Yes.
It is a grape that used to be much more common. It was a wine that used to be much more common, along with Riesling, because it was enjoyed by so many of American servicemen when they were stationed in Europe during and after World War II.
Makes sense.
And so they
Okay.
come back home, and what they've been exposed to in Germany are the traditional German wines. So you think Riesling, that's when Riesling took a big boom in this country and went off the charts, right?
Oh, okay.
Gewürztraminer also took quite a hit, quite a bump, right? And so we don't see it as much. It's sort of fallen out of favor. It can be floral. It can be sometimes made in the off-dry style, which was often the case. And so that sort of fell out of favor. Sweet wines weren't as popular as dry wines. But what we've found is Gewürztraminer certainly has its place because it's spicy. It has floral aromas and spicy notes to it. It is a beautiful pairing to not only traditional German foods with its mustardy flavors and vinegary flavors, but to all kinds of spicy foods. So we love Gewürztraminer with equatorial cuisine. We think about anything within that sort of band between the tropics, where you have heat and spice and depth of flavor and lots of things.
Yes.
Riesling, Gewürztraminer, these are wonderful pairings with that. This is an interesting style. This has been left on the skins to gain color for about 10 days.
Wow.
Post pressing, because it takes a while. These aren't red grapes, so you've got to really work to extract that color, right?
Okay.
It's also unfiltered and unfined. So this wine stirs up and is cloudy. I don't know if you can see it, but
is there edible glitter in there?
there's
What's going
not.
on?
It looks sort of like glitter, but it's not. It's just pieces and parts. That's part of the wine
That's
production,
part of
right?
wine production.
That's part of wine production. This
Would
is
that
also,
be considered part of the leaves or the skins or?
it's part of the leaves. It's
Okay.
unfiltered and unfined. It's what's left over. It's the dead yeast and little
Okay.
pieces of pulp and all the little things
And
that.
all flavors.
All that
all the
lovely flavor.
makers,
Yeah, full flavor maker, right?
Okay.
It's also vented dry, so this is going to be, it said quite dry. So
Okay.
it'll be quite an adventure, and I'm looking forward to it. So,
All right.
salute.
Oh, wow.
Rose, tea rose.
Tea rose and almost a little honey on the back end, would you?
Yep.
Yes, rose. Heard, yeah.
Traditional for Gewürztraminer, not an unusual flavor profile. The nose. That's delightful.
Oh, 100% with something spicy.
100%.
I can see beautiful Indian food with this.
Yes.
Oh my goodness
Absolutely.
gracious.
All kinds of Indian food. I would do curry with this.
I would do something like off the chart spicy because I think this is going to dampen down. Do we know what the alcohol content is on this?
Oh,
one?
the alcohol content, it's not super high. It's 13%, so it's
Yeah.
sort of normal and average.
Yeah. Okay.
But what a pretty,
Whoa.
because you still get sort of that rose on the palate, but it's unsweet. So
not sweet.
it's hard to describe that for people who don't understand the difference between floral and fruity and sweet. You can have fruity, but just like an unripe strawberry, it still tastes like a strawberry. It's just not sweet, right? Think about watermelon. You get a bad watermelon this time of year. It's not because it doesn't taste like watermelon. It's because it's just not sweet enough, right?
Right.
So this has notes of rose, not only on the nose, but on the palate,
Yes.
but unsweetened. So just that sort of floral perfume in the mouth almost.
Right. super dry, almost. It plays on my tongue as if it has a little effervescence. Exactly, that's exactly what I was going.
It's like it wants to be slightly
It wants,
effervescent.
but it's not. But it just plays like it
Yeah.
is.
That is scrumptious. Clean, lean.
Holy moly!
Enjoyable right by itself. It's going to be a beautiful food pair with all kinds of things. This is going to work also, I think, into the fall, and could be beautiful with seafood in the right direction.
Yes.
Um,
But I'm almost thinking like the smoked chicken that we have, or something smoky, something
Oh, I love that.
Chipotle.
I love
if
that.
you will.
I love that.
Like a smoky pepper. Oh golly, this is.
I love
really
a
good.
tropical fruit and jalapeno salsa
Yeah.
with something rich like scallops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, scallops with that on top of it, with those fresh peppers.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah, I think it could be delicious. Really, really fun. If you have not tried orange wines, I urge you to, because it's a depth of flavor there that's hard to achieve otherwise. That skin and the extra time there gives it flavor that you just can't achieve through the juice. Color, a little tannin structure. So there's a little bit of tannin structure to this. Not a ton, but a little touch on the back end. Makes it stand up to things that are a little heavier.
Yeah.
Right? What a really fun find. I'm so thrilled with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this would go equally well with charcuterie though.
Oh, I agree.
And like the charcuterie pizza.
Oh, I
or
agree.
even our pulled pork pizza.
Oh, I agree,
It has
100%.
that spice to it, but oh my gosh,
Well, that-
this is really good.
It is really good, and that's sort of a nod back to its history. You know, Gewürztraminer paired with traditional German foods, German sausages and mustards. So with charcuterie, whether it's German or Italian or wherever it's made, with the balance of the acid and the sharpness of mustard and that depth of flavor and some fruit. So maybe it's quince paste or maybe it's dried figs.
Oh, with this pear, I'm going to interrupt you for just a minute. I'm like, it just hit my in the head. I think of Gewürztraminer with Thanksgiving dinner. For
Okay,
me.
sure. Yeah.
Do you think this would stand up to some of the savory items, or do it as a cheese board in the beginning with the cheese and meat? Like, I think this could also translate into the fall, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I think it's great now. It's super refreshing. It's so cold and chilled and delish. But I also think it can translate into the fall. Like, I'm just very excited. This is the first time we've tried this. And I'm just, like, over the moon.
I certainly think this can translate to the fall. I think, yeah, I would like this. I think this could work with Thanksgiving dinner. I think this would be great with ham. Yeah. A traditional southern glazed ham, and this would be really
A
lovely.
little sweetness would play so nicely with how dry this
Absolutely,
is.
absolutely. I keep going back to the Indian food because you know that's my crave.
Yeah.
And there's so little around here. But what a fun, interesting treat. What a neat wine, and probably the only place you can get it anywhere around here is right next door at the bodega. So
That's right.
do yourself a favor. Go give this a shot because this is really something unique and
Really
special.
something.
All right, so we're moving to our last one today. So this is really interesting also. So this time of year, it like I said, it's about 5,000 degrees here in Beaufort today. And I know people love their reds, and I understand that, but I'm also looking for reds that you can enjoy when it's 5,000 degrees outside. And so I came across this. This is an interesting product. So Weingut vinegar, or vinegar. So this is a producer, family owned and operated, and interesting because this family producer has property in both Hungary and Austria, and grapes come from both that produce this wine. So this wine is neither Hungarian or Austrian; it is both, right?
All right.
And an interesting little blend for us. We don't often think of Pinot Noir as a blending grape. We are more often used to Pinot Noir as a single varietal, but certainly places around the world where they do that. And this is one of them. And the grape blended here is Zweigelt. So Zweigelt is a grape that we have not discussed in the past, but which certainly deserves some recognition. Zweigelt is now the single most widely planted red grape in Austria.
Oh.
It is a grape that is a cross between two older grapes, Saint Laurent and Blau Frankish. This is also unfiltered and unfined, so she's cloudy.
Yeah, she does.
She's cloudy. That's not that unusual this time of, in this part of the world. They want the most flavor they can, and the more you filter, the less flavor you end up with, right?
Okay.
And so when you are in a climate or growing region where maybe your season is a little shorter than some, right? Maybe your altitude is a little higher than some, and so maybe you're not getting a level of ripeness that somebody at a lower elevation could get, or somebody with a longer growing season could get. So you leave everything intact to get the most amount of flavor.
Okay.
Right. This is a wine they've been producing for a while, and it is an interesting product in the fact that it is non-vintage. So
Okay.
this is produced in what's called the Solera system, which is traditionally what we think of as how sherry is produced. And what happens is every year they make this wine and they bottle it, and before they finish bottling, they set aside one big barrel.
Okay.
Just one barrel. And that barrel is kept till the next year. And that barrel is then added to next year's wine.
Wow.
And then that's blended.
Okay.
And then a bottle of next year's wine. So it's an interesting product in a couple of ways. It's a blend of Pinot Noir and Zweigelt.
Okay.
It is non-vintage, made from the Solera system. And it is a wine that they certainly suggest works fine as is, but also takes a chill nicely. So, here we
And
go.
it is chilled nicely.
Yeah, well, it's got a little
Thank
bit,
you.
yeah.
Interesting. Leather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just did that sip and shop over at
Mm-hmm.
127 Coke and Co. doing the leather bags, and you walk in there and it's just, you just feel like you're in a tap room because the scent just hits you right in the face.
Oh,
with
that's-
leather.
yeah.
It is the most delectable smell.
That is wonderful.
when
And
you
you're
walk
right,
in.
right on the nose. There's leather, and then there's
That is so
black
good.
cherry,
Yep. Yeah.
and some tannin, but not too much. This has structure, but not too much structure. Again, we're looking for something that's on the lighter side. It's going to take a chill, and I think this fits that profile beautifully. This is a delicious summer red. This is a delicious red any time of the year, but if you're looking for something to enjoy that has some depth and structure, but is not too heavy this time of year, this is a lovely option. Just a really
Yeah.
great product. This
And for
has
somebody who likes a Pinot Noir and they want to go outside their wheelhouse,
Right.
this would be a great
Oh, I agree,
introduction to
100%.
something weird with Zweigelt.
Absolutely,
because
but it
it's-
fits in that profile, doesn't it? It still
Absolutely.
fits in the profile of Pinot Noir.
Oh gosh, that's so
This
good.
sees a little bit of whole cluster included in the
Okay.
fermentation process, and mostly carbonic fermentation. It's all stainless, it seals almost no oak, and it's mostly carbonic maceration. So the grapes are whole cluster and some juice, and they're put in a container and that's sealed, and they're allowed to sort of ferment themselves from the inside out. And it helps preserve freshness and fruit
Yeah.
flavor. That's how most Gamay is made. And Zweigelt is a relative of Gamay, because it shares parentage through Gamay with its parents of Saint Laurent and Blau Frankish. The whole genetic web of grapes is quite sort of fascinating. This was created in the early 1900s, this grape was, but has quickly become a favorite because it apparently possesses the best characteristics of both of its parents, right?
Yeah.
So it works well, it achieves ripeness in a region that doesn't have particularly long growing season. It's relatively resistant to most pests, and so it has quickly become the favored red in this part of the world. Pinot Noir still has a hold, as do Saint Laurent and Blau Frankish, which are traditional grapes there. And this blend of the two is just a real home run thing.
Yes.
Just excellent. One of their stalwarts in their portfolio. They produce it year in and year out and have been for a number of years, and it always sells well for them, according to all the press that I've been able to read. And I think again, another really fun, interesting, different, yet approachable and familiar for our customers who are used to that Pinot Noir profile, particularly if you're a bigger Pinot Noir fan. If you like that California Pinot, that sort of full-bodied style, then I think this is right up your alley.
Absolutely. And I love that you said Gamay, because I'm like, this is evoking something, and I could not put my finger on it. And as soon as you said Gamay, I was like, yes, this is, yes, I do know of what you speak right now.
But it's Cru Gamay. It's not Beaujolais. It's Cru Gamay. It's Brouilly or Fleury or Moulin Avant. So it's something that's spent some time in the bottle and has seen some structure.
Yeah.
It really, just lovely.
This is-
Yeah. Super thrilled with this lineup.
Yeah.
This is a great selection of goodies. Beautiful, crisp, clean whites for the heat. Whites that will then take you into the fall. A lovely red for this time of year that will take a chill. Perfectly drinkable on its own. All of these are good food wines.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
all of them are enjoyable by themselves.
Yes.
Hard to achieve.
That is
we were
super
lucky.
hard to achieve.
Yeah, we were lucky. So,
Yes. Oh, well done. Well done.
well,
Well done.
yeah. Fun.
Yes,
Cheers. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Happy August.
Oh.
Happy drinking.